For over a decade, the residential real estate market has been a predictable low interest rate, high appreciation market. But dynamic economic forces are injecting uncertainty into this marketplace. The purpose of this video is to show you how you can have confidence going forward in this changing market. But first, let's hear what sellers and buyers are telling me. Given that the sale or purchase of a home is usually the largest financial transaction of a lifetime, selling or buying can be a daunting task in the best of markets. And no one wants to make a mistake with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars hanging in the balance. Sellers are telling me that they are anxious that they may miss the top of the market, or worse, that they may be taken advantage of. They also tell me that they like the idea of an advocate in their corner and not just a salesperson. And buyers are telling me that they have serious doubts about competing in today's crazy market. They're wondering if they should continue to try to buy now or wait for the market to change, whatever that might look like. And those selling, then buying a replacement property, are telling me that they have an underlying fear that they might end up homeless. So what is causing all this anxiety? Topping the list is the ongoing lack of inventory, which is left over from the low interest rate, high appreciation market of the last decade. While we have seen some improvement in inventory, we have had a housing shortage in this country since the 1990s, with no short-term fix in sight. Next, we have the 40-year high inflation affecting the cost of everything. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is now talking about the real possibility of stagflation. Stagflation being slowing economic growth with rising inflation. For those of us who lived through the 1970s, we remember the pains of stagflation all too well. The Federal Reserve is attempting to tame inflation by raising interest rates, but Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is sounding the alarm that interest rate hikes alone may not solve this problem. As we are seeing today, and as I have seen over my career, when mortgage rates begin to climb, there is a FOMO frenzy, fear of missing out, before rates go even higher. On the global front, we have the war in Ukraine, which is expected to have lasting worldwide economic impact, as Russia and Ukraine combined have been the leading producers of grain in the world until now. And China's ongoing COVID lockdowns persist in hurting the production and shipping of goods that the American economy relies upon for growth. So these negative economic conditions are causing anxiety among home sellers and buyers. But what impact will they really have on Marin's real estate market going forward? Marin's predictable, low interest rate, high appreciation market will change. To get an idea of what this change might look like, let's look back to see how similar events affected past real estate markets. This is the chart of U.S. fixed-rate mortgages from 1975 to today. The red line represents the trajectory of Bay Area home prices from 1984 to today. The green shaded area from 1979 to 1984 is the time I was employed as a building inspector for the County of Marin. The blue shaded area from 1984 to today shows the extent of my experience as a Marin County Realtor, starting as a sales associate and later the director of agent training for the dominant real estate company in Marin at the time. As you can see on the lower left of the red line, Bay Area home prices were rising more rapidly than at any time since. This was caused by two factors: the availability of easy money from the tech boom, and the slowing of new construction as large tracts of potentially buildable land were dedicated to conservation and recreation. It was during this time that we first saw multiple offers, and I began developing my strategies and techniques that serve my clients well to this day. In 1991, the dot-com bubble burst, causing an 11% dip in Bay Area home prices until 1995. It was during this time that I first learned how to represent sellers in a buyer's market. Then, in 2000, there was a spike in mortgage rates as I left that company and started my own real estate company. The following year was 9/11. I had just entered a new Mill Valley listing on the MLS. That day, the real estate market came to a complete standstill, which persisted for a number of weeks. When market activity resumed, the Bay Area saw the steepest decline in home prices as there was uncertainty in living in a post-9/11 world. While not as domestically relevant as 9/11, the uncertainty surrounding the potential lasting worldwide economic effects of the war in Ukraine and the China lockdown are of real concern. Then, in 2007, the subprime debacle rocked the financial world. The very core of U.S. and world economies were threatened, foreclosures were rampant, and inflation kicked in. Besides disappointed sellers, another effect of a downturn in housing prices is the appearance of litigious buyers as they look for relief from the declining value of their recently acquired properties. I have developed strategies and techniques to limit my sellers' exposure to such litigation. Fast forward to today, where we see influences like those of the past 3 decades putting pressure on today's residential real estate market. It is only reasonable to assume that we will see similar changes. But how do you possibly have confidence during such a market? How do you as a seller have confidence that you won't miss the top of the market? And if you do, what then? And with all the different ways to sell your home that you see advertised, how do you have confidence that you will choose what's best for you when there are hidden agendas to most of these programs? How can you have confidence that you will not be taken advantage of while selling your home? And just how do you as a buyer have confidence when the buying power of your dollar erodes with every uptick in interest rates? Should you wait, or should you buy now? The answer is simple. You can have confidence if you work with an agent who has extensive experience representing sellers and buyers in changing real estate markets, as I have had over the last 37 years. You can have confidence you will not be taken advantage of if you work with a company who is an advocate for their clients, only representing one side of any one transaction, as I do. On the right side of the chart is an oval, which represents the last 5 years. What's so important about the last 5 years? According to the National Association of Realtors, 87% of all new real estate licensees quit the business within their first 5 years. In fact, any agent who has come into the business in the last 12 years has only known a low interest rate, high appreciation market, which is now in the throes of change. In fact, with the influx of new licensees during COVID, there are now more real estate agents than at any time in history who are now finding out just how hard this real estate business really is. While it makes sense to work with an experienced agent going forward, unfortunately, much of that experience is no longer available, as many have retired. That leaves only a few of us experienced agents left to choose from. So, change is happening whether we want it to or not. I think everyone can agree that being represented by a realtor who has worked through many changing real estate market improves your chances for success. And success in the housing market today looks like turning anxiety into certainty, turning doubt into confidence. And of all my many past clients who sold their home with the intention of buying a replacement property, not one has ever ended up homeless. Hi, I'm Bill Johnson, William Norton Johnson Real Estate in Marin County, California, and I'm here to provide that certainty to my sellers, build confidence in my buyers, and rest assured that if you are selling and then buying a replacement property, that I will stick with you until you are settled into your new home, wherever that might be. I do this by anticipating market conditions, demystifying properties, and offering my clients the guidance they need to avoid seller anxiety, buyer doubt, and the much dreaded fear of not finding a replacement property. Yes, I am old, but I remain on the cutting edge of real estate technology that benefits my clients, as I have done for over 3 decades, and I am as enthusiastic about working with my buyers and sellers as I was when I was a brand new agent, with one major difference. That difference is I now know what I am doing. In fact, as a stickler for detail, I am way overqualified compared to most agents in the business today. Helping my clients achieve their real estate goals is my passion, but I now work only with a small number of clients at any one time. I practice quality over quantity. Call, text, or email for a free consultation entitled, "Is Buying or Selling This Year Right for You?" Let's get to know each other. You will learn a lot, and of course, there is no obligation. And look for my weekly market update on my Facebook page, William Norton Johnson Real Estate, or with your email, it will be automatically sent to you weekly. Join the ranks of my hundreds of happy clients. I do hope you found this video informative, and I'd love suggestions about real estate topics that you would like to see addressed in future videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Bill Johnson.